Hi, this is going to be a short video on how to use our new club grinder. I've got to state before I start that I'm not a particularly good video maker, as you'll probably find out as we go along. So I will describe the various parts of the grinder. We have an 8-inch record power grinder with a carborundum wheel on that side and a white aluminium oxide wheel on that side, tool rest and a tool rest, and we've also got the woodcut true grind grinding system with a slider on that side and a slider on that side. Down here we've got a 50mm mark for setting our gauges to when we're using the grinder. We've also got a water bath on that side, which we need because both these wheels will heat up the tool and you need to keep them cool quite often. The other point I'd like to make is with this particular tool rest, on here there's serrations which won't allow you to smoothly move the tool rest up and down. So what I've done, I'll put a washer in behind which alleviates the segregations on the wheel, so it'll be a much smoother movement. So I'll now carry on with sharpening the first tool. Before I start grinding, I always blue up the edges of my tools. They don't have to be blue, they can be black, red, green, whatever colour you like. I just colour them up with a felt tip pen, and then when I'm grinding I can see that when the colour's all gone, I know that I've got a nice sharp edge. So that's what I would advise you to do. Right, we now sharpen a skew chisel using the true grind system. Same as with the gauges, we set this to 50mm protrusion. Set the angle on the true grind to 1. Then we bring this out and find the correct bevel. That feels quite good. Tighten it down. Needs to come back a little. There we go. Turn it over and do the other side. And we've got a nice sharp edge on both sides. Right, for the spindle gauge, we need to reset the angle to approximately 6. Right, so there's a spindle gauge. Set it at 50mm protrusion again. Set the bevel. Needs to come out a bit. Sounds better. Yes, that should be okay. Check the side angle. Do. Now we do the wings first. Right, both wings are done. So we now just roll around the front. And we now got a nice sharp edge all the way around. Do the same with the bowl gauge. This particular bowl gauge, I think, is basically the same angle as a spindle gauge. No, it needs to go in a little bit. That's better. Check the side angle. Good. We're the same as the spindle gauge. Do the sides. Roll around the front. And there we've got a nice sharp edge all the way around. Right, the last thing I'd like to show you is how to reshape a gauge that you want with a different grind on. Now on the Emiliano demonstration, he rabbited on about a 40-40 grind on his chisels. Now I didn't know what a 40-40 grind was, so I looked it up. And what it means is you've got a 40-degree angle on the front and a 40-degree angle on the top. Now this one isn't quite like that, it's a bit different. I think it's 45 on one side and 50 on the other. So we'll reset this, regrind this to suit a 40-40. Now the first thing you do is you shape the top flutes. So we need this set at 40 degrees. Right, that's about set at 40 degrees. So what you do, put your flutes flat on there. Put flats on there until you can see a shiny flat all the way around, and you know you've got that set to 40 degrees. Now you also need to go turn it over, put 40 degrees on there. then you'll know what to set your tool jig at. Now I'll blue this up so I can see what I'm doing. Now, I'm not sure what number I'm going to want this jig on, but I'll leave it on 5 because that seems to be a big favourite for most things. So I'll set the tool to 50mm protrusion, tighten it down, and then set the front angle to 40 degrees. And that needs to go in just a little. A little bit more. Right, that's given a nice shiny line all the way down, so I know that that's the right angle. So we do the same as before. To the edges, the sides, sorry. Grind it down until you lose the shiny bit on the top, which is, I've almost done, just a bit more up there. Right, that's that gone. We do the other side. It does get very hot doing this, so you need to keep cooling. Right, a little bit more off this side. That's that side finished. A little bit more on this side. Right, just one more light sweep around here. And we've got a nice, supposedly, 40-40 grind. Now the other thing I'd like to show you, which I'll show you on this particular tool is the fact that we've got a long angle on that bevel, which is very difficult for going around the inside of a bowl. So what I'll do, I'll put a secondary bevel on there, which is quite simple to do. All you do is just put it on. And that shortens the angle down by about half, which makes it a lot easier for going around the bowls. At the inside of the bowl anyway. I'm now going to show you how to sharpen a spindle roughing gouge. Most of my spindle roughing gouges are set to 45 degrees, so I will check that with the gauge on this wheel, and that looks pretty good. So we go ahead and check by spinning the wheel by hand, and as you can see, I've got a nice shiny line there which indicates that I'm grinding all the way up the bevel. I've got sparks coming off the top of the gouge, so I can tell they're getting a nice sharp edge. As you can see, all the blue's gone, which indicates that there's a nice sharp edge on the top. I'm now going to sharpen a parting tool. So once again, we set the tool rest to the bevel. So that's been on the top, so we need to come back a little. That looks quite good. I've got a nice shiny edge there. Turn it over. And that'll give us a nice clean cut. Right, I'm now going to do the round nose scraper, which I think is about 75 degrees. So I'll wait for the wheel to stop. That's just about right. That gives us a nice sharp edge all the way around. The next one I'm going to do is my homemade box scraper. It's just a bit of 1/2 inch tool steel ground on the top and on the front. Now I'll do this one freehand. We just drag it down until the sparks start to come off the top. We've got a nice sharp edge all the way down. And grind it across the front to give it a nice sharp edge. I'll give it one more down the front. That'll give us a nice cut for the inside of a box. So really, that's about all I've got to show you. I hope you've enjoyed it.